Hello there, Tad Hargrave from marketingforhippies.com. I'm here in Edmonton, just behind the Alberta legislature. In a park. I came down here because I thought there was going to be there used to be every Sunday this hippie gathering, and it doesn't seem to be happening anymore, which is a bummer. But this is a video for all of you, but in response to a fellow Steve Nash, his question he sent quite a while ago, and I'm just getting to it. So here's the question. I thought it was really good. He said, why is all this marketing so complicated? Let's say I was reading a dating blog, not a marketing blog, and there were literally hundreds of posts about making it work with a man, woman, etc., relationship, casual thing, or whatever it is that you're into. Hundreds of posts, and I'm thinking, is it really that complicated? Isn't dating normal and natural? Doesn't the fact that I'm looking for advice, dating, marketing, etc., represent a more fundamental issue, or is dating like marketing a skill to be learned? I think it's probably more me than you. I think I'm getting tired of how-to advice, and this comment is a reflection of that tiredness. Amen. Maybe there's a post of yours I missed about the simplicity of marketing. I guess where I'm coming from writing this particular comment on this particular post is, why is all this marketing so complicated and nuanced and, dare I say, unnatural? Could it be that we're not listening to ourselves enough? We've forgotten where our answers come from, and we keep looking for it outside of ourselves. Well, there's probably that. Gosh, I mean, I feel like a good chunk of my coaching is giving people permission to do the thing that feels right and permission to not do the thing that feels terrible. So much of the marketing and sales advice that I learned when I was younger and I've come across is very it's terrible. It's pushy, it's aggressive, and so people feel like they have to do it because it works, because they see the results, but of course they don't see the refunds. They don't see the complaints that come in as a result of it. They don't see how they lose people. So anyways, for what it's worth, Steve, and to all of you, these are my thoughts. First of all, business and marketing is very new to humans. I think that just has to be said. For most of our evolution as humans, we operated on a gift economy, or that's what it's called today. Some sort of maybe trade, barter, gifting. So this whole notion of business and money and marketing is new. So I think this is part of the complexity. It's not that the gift economy isn't a complicated something. It's not that gift economy doesn't have immense amount of nuance, but it's so woven into the fabric of the culture that you might not even notice it's happening. As an outsider, you wouldn't see anything. You wouldn't know the immense calculations and tabulations that are being made all the time, and the deeper cultural reasons for gifting, and how to do it and how not to do it. So I think a lot of that would just be woven into the culture, and we fundamentally don't have that very much anymore. Also, as we came out of being hunter-gatherer and living in these very small communities of 100, 150 people, probably nomadic at some level, probably living in a forest, we started domesticating things. And why the hell am I talking about this? It's marketing, but it is relevant. We started domesticating plants and animals, and that took us out of the order of nature, out of the limits of nature. And that unleashed a kind of anarchy. And if you're interested in a book on this, The Parable of the Tribes by Schmuckler is one I'd recommend. Anyways, it just got more and more complicated. We got more and more specialty products, more added value to products. And you can see this in the records of, the earliest kind of literacy in the West from Babylon area, this Mesopotamia, is accounting. And it starts very simple, but as the cities get bigger, you get more complicated tabulations, because now it's not just a cow. Now maybe it's the ribs, or it's olive oil instead of just olives. It's you see what I'm saying? There's more and more specialized things. So modern civilization is complex. We should just say that. By the time we're at where we're at now, first it's domestication, and then metal smithing, industrial revolution, and then whatever the hell we're in now, this artificial intelligence age. Everything's getting more complicated. And so I think a lot of the complication, we're just contending with that. It's also got to be said, since the dating analogy was lifted up, dating is also new. Dating is a brand new thing. in the human world. I mean, hundreds of years old. I don't think thousands, this idea that you would just go on a date, have dinner. It seems to me that arranged marriages and courting were more the thing for a long time. So dating's new. So I think this is why there's so many blog posts about this, is because humans are still figuring this one out. Okay, so dating is new, the marketplace is new, but there are also a number of other things. So, of course, when we say the marketplace is new and it's more complicated, part of this is this niche business, that there are very specific roles. Whereas if you lived in a village, well, you probably have some particular role, but probably multiple roles. You would just be a generalist, fundamentally, in a lot of things. And everyone would know what kind of plants to eat, basically. You would know how to hunt, you'd know how to make fire. Everybody knows these basics. And there's something about the marketplace where we've become so hyper-specialized. So, just saying all of that, acknowledging how complicated the world is that we're in. Here's why I think marketing becomes so complicated in addition to that. One is the niche is fuzzy. People are trying to do everything for everybody. They're trying to reach everyone, and that's hard. That makes marketing extremely complicated. How are you going to come up with offers or write a homepage or a sales page when you're trying to reach everybody? It just doesn't work, So that's one. Second is the business model is way too complicated. People get these business models that are nuts. 37 different offers versus a really streamlined, simple business model of 5 things at the most, or 3. You see what I'm saying? A business model can be really easy versus the model of, every month I do a different workshop on a different topic. And it's not just workshops, but I also write a different ebook every month. You see what I'm saying? That becomes insane. That becomes so convoluted. It's so much work for you, but it's also so confusing to the marketplace of what the hell you do. Picking too many marketing tactics. You don't need a ton. But oftentimes people get so scattered in their approach, when really if you had a simple niche, simple business model, simple, easy to understand set of offers that are proven, and you figured out a basic, simple marketing approach to it, this could work. So for example, let's say you're a homeopath and you specialize in autoimmune disorders. Well, every month you could do an introductory workshop sharing your point of view about autoimmune disorders. You could promote that via Facebook ads, let's say, and your email list, and just reaching out to local hubs, local holistic practitioners, and making sure they know. I mean, that's it. That could be your whole thing. And you get all your clients through that. Part of the other reason it's complicated is I think because people rely on this cold marketing instead of the hub marketing. I have that ebook, Hub Marketing, all about this. And that just makes it way harder because you're hustling for every single individual client, so there's all these considerations with each client versus one hub could bring you potentially dozens of clients. Another reason, it just takes time to sort all this stuff out. Everything I just said, the niche, your point of view too, most people's point of view is really complicated. That makes things harder. Complicated business model, too many tactics, not going for hubs. It just takes a while to figure out what is your point of view, your niche, your hubs, your offers. All of that takes time to figure out. So this adds to the complication. It's not that we wake up one day and this all lands immediately and crystal clear. Okay, but here's the other piece. Fundamentally, what makes marketing work is word of mouth. Or not what makes it, well, that's how it works. Fundamentally, it's people telling people about things. Half to 75% of the reason why you buy any product almost certainly has to do with word of mouth. Somebody you respect and trust told you to check it out and to buy it. This is very common. But then, I'll have to do a video about this, about the 3 fundamental steps of word of mouth. But we could just say that 90% of the reason that people share something is because it worked, because it was really good. So this goes back to what makes it so complicated. Because people say, but the word of mouth isn't delivering the clients, right? But why? Because probably your niche is fuzzy, not well articulated. You haven't really figured out who the hungry crowd is. Your offers are either non-existent or confusing, and you haven't made it safe for them to approach you. Your point of view is fuzzy. You have a hard to remember URL. You've just made it really, really difficult for people to spread the word. So even if they want to spread the word, better to say this. their desire to spread the word will be based on, did they get results from working with you? But if you're freestyling it all the time, if you're just helping this person and then that person, this person, that person, you've got no particular protocol or program or sense of how to guide people through these things, well, then people aren't going to get results because you're just improvising every single time you work with somebody. And how can you be good at helping everyone? Well, you can't. What does that mean? It means they're not going to get results. And what does that mean? It means they won't talk about it. It means they won't spread the word. Versus, let's say you specialize in lower back pain and you've got like a 90% success rate in completely eliminating lower back pain for people. I promise you, give yourself a few years, you'll never be hurting for clients. If you help people who are divorcing get divorced in a spiritual, beautiful way, and it works consistently, and couples say, oh my God, I thought that was going to be so painful, but you actually turned it into one of the more beautiful moments of our life. If you get a reputation for that, you're going to do fine. So hopefully that's clear. The reason, what would make it simple is if it was all word of mouth. Yeah, you just do your work and people talk about it. This is our dream. So then we have to reverse engineer back to that. Okay, why would they spread the word? Because we do a good job. What would help me do a good job? Maybe not trying to help everyone, maybe having a clear niche, maybe really thinking through my point of view, maybe designing some programs and packages and products that make it easy for people to get the result. Maybe it's then also thinking, okay, since I'm going to specialize in this group of people, where do they hang out? Who are these people? What are the hubs for them? And then to keep my life simple and uncomplicated, what are the kind of marketing things I enjoy doing? Do I like networking? Do I like writing? Do I like doing videos, etc.? So anyways, hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions about this, feel free to put them in the comments below. Steve, this is for you. Good to know you're still in the world. And yeah, feel free to put a reply to this. Let me know if that answers your question or if any other questions come from it. And of course, if you have any questions you want me to answer or address, always feel free to just put it in a comment and I'll see it. And if it seems like a good question, I'll do my best to answer it. Take care, everyone.